Hi everyone, it's V with Bees and Everything. I have started with plastic foundations in all my hives, but I really want to transition into foundationless for many reasons that I will talk about. I started inserting foundationless frames into my hives last year, and I'm going to continue this year until the plastics are completely cycled out. I really like using bamboo skewers in the frames. They give the wax comb a little support while it's fresh and soft without being too invasive, and I find it really super easy to do. All I do is mark it in three spots and then drill a small hole in the ridges. I cut the bamboo skewers to the perfect size and then insert them into the holes. And look at them, they're really rigid and just holding there without using any glue. Now, why do I want the foundationless frames? The biggest reason is that the plastic foundation already have a pre-sized cells. So the bees, it's really hard for them to make that size into different size. So in the spring, when they need to make drone cells, which are much bigger than the worker bee cells, it's harder for them to do it with the set foundation. But if they can draw their own, they will make the sizes that they need, which leads to actually more drone in the hive than what the plastic foundation would allow. For comparison, in the wild, bees will have 25 and more percentage of drone cells in the spring, while in the managed colonies with the plastic foundation, it's 10 to 15. So that's a big difference. A queen will mate with 10 to 20 different drones from other colonies. So, the more drones, the more genetic diversity, which is crucial for a healthy and resilient hive that will be able to fight off diseases and adapt to environmental changes. In other words, having more drones is just better for the bigger picture and for the long term health of your colonies. You can also insert a medium sized frame into a deep box and provide the bees some space to draw their own comb on the bottom, like on this frame right here. And you can clearly see the different sizes cells here on the bottom. The left side are the big drone size cells, and the middle are the small worker size cells. And another really great advantage to having these drone size cells on the frame is that they will hold much more honey in them for the winter, which is great because the bees are clustering in the winter and the cluster really doesn't move much, especially if it's a really cold snap. So this will give them advantage when they are not moving, they will have more storage in one spot and not starve. I mean, let's face it, honeybees have been drawing their own comb for millions of years, so they know what they're doing, and I'm gonna trust them on this one. And here are a couple things to keep in mind if you do decide to go with foundationless. You cannot put two foundationless frames next to each other because the bees will cross comb and you will not be able to pull them out. So I always alternate them either with a plastic foundation or with a frame that has been previously drawn. You have probably also noticed that I made some blue marks on my foundationless frames, and this is to tell me that these are made in 2025. I marked my foundationless frames last year with a red mark, so when I'm doing my inspections, I can just look down and I can see exactly what frames I have. And if they are fresh from this year, I do not pull them out until late summer when they are fully drawn and attached from all sides. Otherwise, they can flop out of the frame if they are really fresh and soft and not attached on all sides. But this really hasn't happened to me a lot, and you can use a rubber band to hold them in if that does happen. But I've actually had great success spinning out honey from some of my last year's fully drawn foundationless frames, and they held up just as good as the plastic foundation in the honey spinner. So they work great. I am super excited for the next bee season. Happy beekeeping!